Would we be in this position if we were getting 300,000 vaccines back in February, like the rest of the world? The answer is absolutely not. We wouldn't be facing the crisis with ICU. We wouldn't be having shutdowns. We wouldn't have the schools shut down. The feds need to get us vaccines, bottom line.
Let's bring in our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton. And Rosemary, help us put the Premier's comments into perspective.
Ian, let's start with the idea that vaccines were going to be the answer to this. It wasn't just vaccines that were ever going to be the answer. What also had to happen were public health restrictions. What Ontario is dealing with right now was forecasted by its own science advisory table all the way back in February. Actually, during the last stay-at-home order in this province, the Ford government decided to go ahead and lift that order, even though it had that modeling in those projections. The Ford government also claims it can administer 300,000 to even 500,000 doses of vaccine a day. It's important to point out the province has yet to even hit 150,000 a day. So the province can certainly fairly criticize the federal government on its rollout. What it cannot say, though, is that it did not know what the rollout would be, the schedule of delivery. And in fact, Ottawa surpassed its delivery schedule for the end of March by 3.5 million doses.
So what's your assessment of what's going on here?
Listen, we're in a very difficult situation for all governments, but for any government in particular who has been maybe a little reluctant to clamp down on further restrictions. It's a problem in Ontario. We're seeing a similar problem in Alberta. Today, Ontario, though, said, listen, we didn't even ask for help when the Prime Minister offered it today. It denied that it had asked for any help. Sources within Ottawa say there was no official ask from Ontario, but there was an inquiry about what more could be done. The political rhetoric is very high. It's going to get much higher at a time when some leaders are trying to justify why they didn't make the decisions they made before now. Today was an example of that, a lot of finger pointing in order to present some cover for why such measures were announced today. And this obviously, Ian, at a time when Canadians are probably running out of patience with some leaders.
And emotions running high, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rosie.
Okay, thanks, Ian.